Hello and welcome back to some Terraria. I got my inventory sorted and my chest sorted over here, and as I said, we're going to do some fishing. So I went ahead and made a fishing pole out of some iron. This is the second worst one you can get, but it's okay to start with. And I bought a bug net from the merchant over here so I can catch some bait. So of course the first thing you really need to do before you can fish is catch bait like these fireflies. And a ton of these will spawn around your base camp usually, because more critters, harmless animals will spawn when enemies can't spawn, and the more NPCs you have, the less enemies that can spawn. So around your base you'll always find a bunch of butterflies and fireflies, which is really good for fishing because they have 20% bait power. That's not bad, and for how easy they are to get, especially if you have like rocket boots or something to let you double jump, it makes it a lot easier. Because, see, I had trouble getting that one. So fishing has a lot of different things that go into it. There's the fishing pole you use. It's all about fishing power. The fishing pole you use, the bait you use, if you have any extra gear for it. There are also special accessories for it. There are fishing potions. And also even what time of day you fish. It's best to fish early in the morning between like 4:30 and 6 or so. Somewhere around there. And what else? There's one more thing. Oh yeah, if it's raining. If it's raining, you'll have like a 50% fishing bonus. So if it's ever raining, it's always a good time to fish. And I think rain lasts about 24 hours in game. So I'm just go ahead and catching a pretty good amount of bait. And since there's so many fireflies around here, I might as well. If I had some kind of double jumping item, it would be so much easier. But of course, that I do not have. It's good for me to have this water right here, because I can just jump down from up here and land in the water. And you may notice I changed my cursor color. You can do that actually in the settings within the game files. It makes it a lot easier to see instead of it being just a red cursor. Because the last thing you want is to get lost or lose your cursor in the middle of a boss fight. It's terrible. I have 18 fireflies. I'm going to catch just a couple more, and that should be enough to go ahead and go to the ocean and start doing some real fishing. That and the fishermen will give you quests, which is how you get a lot of the accessories to make your fishing even better. That, and there's an achievement for doing like 5, 10, 50, and 100 and 250 quests for them. They'll tell you exactly where to catch it, underground and caverns. This changes at 4:30 every day. I don't need a bunny. So, well, 4:30 in the morning is when it changes. So I need to go fishing like right now and catch that and come back real quick if I want to finish the quest today, which I want to try to. Let's see here. I need to find an underground or cavern one. I don't think it's underground enough there. I may not end up finishing the quest for him. That's okay. And I'm going to the ocean specifically because of all the really good items you can get from fishing in the ocean. Early on in the game anyway. I mean, in hard mode it won't matter as much. You already have some good gear, but just to start you off. Oh, the other one you want to break to get a lot of good bait is these. You get tons of worms, grubbies, and sluggies out of them. There is that kind of bush, and there's a couple other ones. I'll point them out if I see them. Wish I could move a little bit faster, but it's okay. Alright, so if I go down here, I think that might be considered underground at that point, but I might need to go deeper. And if I'm gonna go, oh, it's about midnight it looks like by the way the moon is. If I'm gonna try to do a fishing quest, I'm gonna really try to do it, not just fish somewhere and hope I'm in the right place. I need to make a bridge or something here so I can move faster. A precise shackle. Cool. 1 defense, 2 critical strike. It's not bad. Let's see. Yep, there's another one of those bushes you can get. See, I dropped a worm that demon I just killed. Most critters like that will die by like 1 hit of any enemy that runs into it. So it's kind of hard to get them at night while there's a lot of enemies around. It's a lot of demon eyes. They're a little bit harder to kill with a trident or spear type weapon compared to other enemies. Using my blowgun. Not that that's even really a good weapon, it's my ranged weapon at the moment. Might as well. I think I can reach him though. I might be able to finish this quest, but I don't think I'm gonna worry about it. I'm just gonna go ahead and go to the ocean because I don't really see any good underground spots to fish in. I could have just dug down, but that's okay. I don't think demonized colors matter to the health. I think it's just aesthetic, but I'm not positive on that. Like the slimes, all the different colored slimes have different health, and some that act a little bit differently. Aw. There we go. I forget I have this wand of sparking. Nowhere near being able to get into the dungeon yet. No way. However, since there's no enemies here at the moment, go ahead and get all this. Last time there was a ton. Works for me. Again, who don't really care about using ropes because of how many you'll get from pots. I'm not saying be wasteful, but don't care to use them. You usually get a double jumping item or a grappling hook pretty soon. I probably could have already made a grappling hook if I could have found a hook. Hooks drop from skeletons and whatnot in the underground. And then all you have to use is a little bit of iron to make it. And a grappling hook's really useful to help get around, but it's okay, I can wait. As you can see, the trident's a very effective melee weapon to start with. It's not really going to be helpful against bosses, but just against these regular dudes here. Alright, so when you're fishing, like especially at night, you'll have enemies just kind of come off screen all the time. You have to deal with them in between fishing moments. And by the way, you can't catch anything while you're in the water. So you actually have to be on some kind of dry land, whether it's a platform or just on the land beside it. Whatever it is, you can't be in the water to catch fish. Sharks, man. These guys actually drop a hard mode crafting item, the shark fin. It's used to make them mega shark. It's just strange how they spawn during the regular mode as well, for how much health they have. I'm gonna kill these guys so that they'll drop their glow sticks I can see in the water. Hey, I got an iron crate. Come on, be lucky. Gold and bait, that's not bad. It's these crates that I'm looking for so that I can get some really cool items from them. That, or I think there's some that you can just straight up get straight out of the water. There's a chainsaw, which is the only chainsaw that you can get pre-hard mode. And there is a pickaxe that is as good as the next to best pickaxe in pre-hard mode. It can mine all the crimson and corruption. Gotta go ahead and catch this before he comes. Nice, 2 crates. Platinum, mining potion, and lead. That's not bad. I mean, it's a good way to get some ores and whatnot as well. And also, if you look, I already have 27 bait. I've actually gained bait. That's actually pretty rare. Usually you lose more unless you have like a crate potion. Crates will usually give you a lot of bait. I don't really care too much about all these regular fish I'm catching. Most of them you'll just cook into cooked fish, which will last about 20 minutes to give you the well-fed buff. Just increase all your minor stats, which is good to have all the time if you think about it. Oops. But on on expert mode, it's actually pretty necessary to have the well-fed buff all the time, just for the health regen. But on here, I'm not worried about that. Just regular old world. Another crate. I got some silver and healing potions. Funny thing is about fishing is that it doesn't matter where your bobber goes and what biome this is in. It matters what biome you're standing in. So if I could be fishing in an ocean biome, but actually be in a jungle biome, and what I'm gonna get is jungle drops, not ocean drops. It's strange how it works. And I believe you can change where you are if you have like a set of binoculars or a rifle scope. They're 2 of the only items that move your screen, and I believe that'll change what biome you're in as well. Of course, you can't use the binoculars while you're fishing, so you have to hold the item. But the rifle scope, yeah. It's interesting. Also, fishing can give you a lot of money. I hadn't got it yet, but these crates can give you a lot of gold. You saw I got some gold bars, I think. Yeah, some gold bars, which are also worth good money. As well as being pretty good crafting items. What I've read on the wiki is that it said about 50 worms will catch you. Usually the pickaxe that you're looking for. Just out of pure chances and all. 18 ore, okay. But it's also dependent on fishing power as well, so it's kind of hard to say exactly. You just, it'll take 50 worms, you know. Because there's always a chance that you just not get it. I mean, there's no telling. And you base things off of chances anyway. I don't really care about killing these guys because all they drop is money and it's not worth much. So I'm just knocking them away. Same thing for him. That also means no more enemies will spawn on. So I don't care too much. And if you get too much cooked fish, it'll always sell too. It doesn't sell for a ton of money, but a good stack of 20 or 30 gets you 1 or 2 gold. Oh, fishing. On my first playthrough, I neglected fishing for most of the playthrough. It was really until I got to hard mode hard mode that I ever fished at all. And the only potions I ever used for the first bosses were the ones that I just looted from chests. Which you can get by with, you can do that just fine. But if you go ahead and start using the potions, it makes those fights a lot easier and can prevent death. Most definitely. You know, I always could make some platforms to make this a lot easier. I just do it like this, then they're not gonna be able to get to me whatsoever. Now I won't even have to worry about them. Once you get into hard mode, there's also a boss called Duke Fishron. You have to find some kind of truffle worm in an underground glowing mushroom biome. And you have to use it as bait in the ocean to spawn him. So it's not bad to have a good setup of platforms out here. Already pre-built. And I think he's the fastest boss in the game. You may or may not be able to outrun him on like certain things, like the mount, the cute fish on mount thing. What sucks though is that it's actually hard to find that bait, because the truffle worm bait is actually a rare creature that the lifeform analyzer will find. Lifeform analyzer is an accessory. They'll tell you any kind of rare creatures that are around. It doesn't detect very many creatures, but it'll detect things like any NPCs that you can get for your home base, because sometimes you have to talk to them like an underground cavern because they're bound or something. Crate. Bait and the swiftness potion. Okay. I'm really hoping I can get that pickaxe. If I upgrade from a copper pickaxe to the second best in pre-hard mode, that'd be pretty intense. More potions. Not a bad way to get some potions too. By the looks of the map and what I've explored, this is the side of the ocean that I checked for water chests. Man, I was really hoping I'd actually get some good catches out here, but it looks like I'm just getting regular old fishes mostly. Well, what else is there to fishing? You can get better fishing rods, but let's see here. There's one you can get from either the Crimson or Corruption ingots, which is usually the one you'll stay with for a while. And there's one you can actually get from a chest. It might be the Jungle Crate from fishing. I don't remember which one. If you do so many quests, I think it's 75, then the angler, the fishing guy, will have a chance of giving you a golden fishing rod every quest, which is the best one with 50% fishing power. The best bait that you can get are from either him or from quests, or from quests from him, or from crates, are master bait. Yep, master baits. They are, I believe they have 50% fishing power. You see the, where are they at? Where's my bait? Oh, I must have used all my bait, except for my fireflies. Oh, well, I had some apprentice and journeyman bait, I think, and they have pretty good fishing power. Let's see what this is. More swiftness potion. See, I got 5 gold just from that one crate. If you get a crate potion, you can get some pretty good money and other loot. But most of the loot you get, like ingots and whatnot, that's usually pre-hard mode stuff. You don't really need any of the regular ingots hard mode. Iron and gold and all that, because they're kind of worthless at that point. I mean, you could still mine them and sell them, but that's about all you can do with them. Actually, once you enter into hard mode, and you destroy the first demon altars, you destroy 3, and you'll get a bunch of hard mode ores spawning all in the world. Whether you've explored places or not, they can still spawn there. They like take over the place of other blocks that you haven't built. And see, this is why I neglected fishing for so long, because you're literally just sitting here with a fishing pole and a bunch of bait. It's kind of like real fishing. I mean, if you're patient enough, yeah, you'll get some good rewards out of it, but hey, there's one of them. The sawtooth shark will replace my axe, and as you can tell by the sounds, it is a chainsaw with 70% axe power, which is a ton. And while the damage doesn't mean that much, the damage is actually pretty good compared to the items I have, but items I'm going to get later, it's not going to be too good. It doesn't even have any knockback. Nope. No knockback, so that's kind of dangerous. But chops down trees pretty quick. It's kind of awesome. To be a pre-hard mode item, it's pretty awesome. Just to chop down trees with anyway. I think it's called the Reaver Shark. That's the one I'm looking for. That's the pickaxe. Well, we got one of the drops we asked for. Will we get the other? I don't think so. You almost can't even tell I have a dye on my body. It kind of looks like I'm in the desert, you know, the way heat waves go. That's Mirage, yeah, Mirage Desert. That kind of makes sense. That's why it is Mirage dye. I think I'm gonna cut this episode short since it's just fishing and there's not too much to it. I can't think of anything else to do with fishing really. You get a bunch of quest rewards from the angler. There's fishing armor. Wow, a second sawtooth shark. Wow. You can get a full set of angler armor. Well, it doesn't really provide any armor. It provides more fishing power per piece. There's that. There's all the accessories. And the accessories, if you get all or a lot of them, you can actually combine some of them. There's the fish finder. That's requires a sextant and a few other pieces. And there's the fisherman's tackle box, which is the 3 just fishing accessories. There's the fishing reel, makes this unbreakable. Right now there's like a 1 in 7 chance it'll break. Oh my gosh. Oh wow, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. 30 melee damage. This weapon is ridiculous, by the way. It's small. Okay, it's small. That's the downside. But it auto swings. I'm just holding the button down, and it does 30 freaking melee damage. Holy crap! That's almost 3 times as much as the Trident does. And now, yeah, I'm gonna wreck some kids. Seriously, this weapon's ridiculous. Oh my gosh! If I just get the Reaver Shark now, I will be set for life. Not really, but for pretty much all the pre-hard mode, just out of tools. Goodness grave. I didn't even look at the other stuff. What I get? Journeyman bait and platinum bars. Not bad. Like maybe could get to work on some platinum armor, possibly. Jeez. Oh, the Falcon Blade is such a good weapon. Now, once I get the Goblin Tinkerer, I can reforge it and try to get a bigger size and maybe some more damage out of it. But I hadn't quite fought a Goblin army yet. Once you fight a Goblin army, you'll have a chance of appearing in underground caves bound. Any of the bound people you ever find in caves, by the way, once you leave that area and they despawn, they will respawn in one of the NPC's houses if there's one available. Of course, I have enough for all of the NPCs. So anyway, as I was saying before I caught the Falcon Blade, there's that fishing reel to where, like that just happened, it'll become unbreakable. And then there is an earring. It's literally a fishing earring. You can wear it to give you more fishing power. There's one more, I forget what it is, but altogether make the toolbox so that you can wear it all at once. Flipper and mana potion. So when you're going fishing, it kind of gets to the point where you're carrying a whole bunch of fishing stuff with you. Your fishing pole, probably your bug net, your bait, and your whole set of armor, your accessories, and there's a lot for it. And you probably want to grab it pretty much every morning if you're doing the quests. Ooh, my inventory is almost full just from fishing. Oh, I don't need that starfish. It's kind of crazy. And I've hardly lost any bait. That's pretty rare. Usually lose bait over time. And I think I started with about 20. Well, anyway. I'm gonna go ahead and be here for a minute. I'm gonna go home and sort my inventory. See what kind of ingots I can get and see if maybe I can get the Reaver Shark, but I've been fishing for a whole day cycle, from morning to night. But for this episode, I'm going to go ahead and end it just because fishing is boring. Unless you're into that, I don't know. If you're into fishing, sure, I don't blame you. But I just don't have the patience for it. Fishing is incredibly boring if you ask me, but it's pretty necessary to getting a lot of the potions. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and end it here and resume next time. We'll see you.